The team in 94th place, Joe, has 0 PMR. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
1 2 3 1 2 3.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. My voice is fucked. I'm gonna have to turn myself up.
Are you too good to count to 3?
All right, I just did a tweet.
My throat is bothering me. Because I've been yelling the last 3 days. All right, Pete full. No.
Okay, Hunter, just go down. We got to run some clock.
3-way split, good. Leone, good. Screen share, 3, good. Full. Pete. End screen, Pete. Starting soon.
We got to get someone else to produce this show for you so you can chill, Joe.
Dude, Jordan already produces like 8 shows for us. He's just out of his mind. Yeah, that'd be great. No, it's producing's not hard.
Well, do you know that we're rolling right now? I'm seeing shots of me on the live YouTube page.
Yep. We are live.
Wait, thanks for that.
We're going back.
All right, we're live for the second time. Joe Holka, look at this man. He's driven to a wedding and back in Chicago. He's running on 3 hours of sleep. He's doing false starts to our show. He's a producer. He's a man that is apparently live on FanDuel. This is the Tilt Space. It is Sunday evening. I'm joined by my partners in crime, Mike Leone and Joe Holka. This already feels like a shit show. Can't wait to have everyone join us for the next hour of tilting. How we doing, guys?
Outside of me going to you as I was checking the stream, I think we're fine. I think there's worse things that have happened today, but yeah, we were live for a bit. Hopefully you didn't say anything dumb. I honestly have no idea what you said.
Yeah, I think I was saying that we need. So let's set the table. Let's set the table for people here. Okay, so this week, last week we were in the $1,500 game changer, bricked out. This week, Leone and I are talking late on Saturday night because Joe's playing beer pong at a wedding or whatever. And Leone and I like so many different angles that we're like, let's put it 2 in the 777 so we can make 2 lineups. We make 2 lineups. Joe gives a very half-assed sign off on it. The one thing that Leone and I said was like, we really like Aaron Jones, but we just can't fit him into these 2 lineups. And we just kind of shrugged our shoulders and pressed submit. Mike, how did we end up with no Aaron Jones when you and I talked about him repeatedly? All of us played him in our other single entry solo lineups, but collectively we didn't get on him.
The worst part was in our one team, we played Clyde Edwards-Helaire at flex, and it's a similar play. It wasn't a horrible play over Aaron Jones, but we had never at any point were like, we got to play Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which we were with Aaron Jones. And I think we had a swap, and then we were sort of, like, oh, well, we've got the Arizona stack in that game. So, CEH gives us some late swap flexibility, but we probably won't late swap anyways. And, we just kind of threw in the towel, and we just didn't even at no point were we like, should we just put Aaron Jones in here instead of CEH, which I don't know why none of us even posed the question. I don't know if we would have stuck with CH, but
I'll tell you exactly what happened. We all played Aaron Jones in our single entry team, so we thought we were good. The team we did together is the only team we didn't play Aaron Jones. What a joke.
So I do just want to say we did in our super contest, winner take all $5,000 contest. These were our picks.
Turn McLaurin touchdown. Let's fucking go.
No, wait. Are you serious?
Yep.
Let's go. Where am I in the spy?
21st.
I'm 21st in the spy. Let's go. Who doubted me? Can we ship this? I don't think we can ship. Wait, we could ship this. First place is 214. I'm sitting with 188, and I have Kyler, Hopkins, McLaurin, and Kirk.
Let's go, dude. Dude, you know, I'm gonna be the wet blanket here. We would be 15th in the 777 with Aaron Jones over CEH.
We would be what?
A ton of PMR.
Oh my God, that was
15th.
Huge, boys. I gotta check the Wildcat here. Hang on.
It was a 40-point swing.
Wait, so what? And what would that have put us there? Price wise, what is that pay ladder?
Let's look at
it. That would put us
20K at first.
3K.
Yep.
We'd have 3K with the most PMR remaining of teams in front of us. I don't know if Will Fuller.
Boys, I'm 34th in the Wildcat right now too.
So our group entries went poorly, but we've got some. I'm live in the Juke. Peter's live in the Spy. Holka's live in the Wildcat. So we just didn't put it together with our group entries, but we were on the right cluster of players.
This is our calling. We collectively mush each other, and then we hedge off of our collective portfolio in our individual lineups and just print. Or is it that actually that doesn't work because these are our higher buy-ins, at least for me. So I'm going to have to try to get back what we collectively lose on my own.
Yeah, boys, we're live. We're live in the Wildcat right now too. This is good. This is real good. I would love to tilt with you guys, but this could be good.
So I will also say we were set up for a really good day in the Super Contest. I was going to start to read off our picks. So tomorrow night we do have the Saints at -5.5. We have Cardinals at -6.5. That's looking okay. We had the Jaguars at +8.5. That smashed. Giants +5.5. We got there. Panthers +9. Leone, tell me your thoughts. After that onside kick, all we need is one stop from the Panthers, and we ship that one.
Yeah, that hurt for a lot of reasons. You know, obviously we wanted. I had visions of me with a fist pump chant of 5-0 on this show tonight that we don't get to do, but also, Peter, you're a Rojo truther. You've got a lot of Rojo seasonal shares, and I feel like those got poured out on that Leonard Fournette run. It looks like he's taking over. So, and we had Rojo on one of our teams, so I don't know. It just hurt in a lot of ways, and then Panthers go down and actually have a chance to score a touchdown at the end, and I don't even know what happened exactly at the end, but they fell short. They got to like the 5-yard line, so that was disappointing. But we're looking pretty good for 3-1, barring a crazy Washington comeback.
Yeah, this is a winner-take-all contest. I did want us to play Baltimore, Chalktimore, as Leone calls it. That one looks like it's going to be okay. That said, if we can get to 4-1 again this week, I think that's got to put us, based on the rankings, I would say in the top 10 would be my guess if we go 4-1 here.
Yeah, do we have anything you think was super contrarian though this week? We took quite a few dogs.
The contrarian was just not taking Baltimore.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Not taking Baltimore was contrarian, so we don't really make up anything on that, but hopefully we don't lose anything on it. This Will Fuller injury, what this goose egg he has, is just absolutely killing me.
Which game we still have going right now? I'm going to bring up the DK live.
We got Chargers, Chiefs.
None of our super contests.
Arizona, Washington.
None of our super contest picks. Oh no, the Cardinals -6.5. That's our one there. That one should be fine. A Kyler to Christian Kirk bomb. And I say and do things on air that I should never say and do.
Man, Terry McLaurin up to 3rd for wide receivers after that catch.
Oh my God, this is nice.
Where are you in the Wildcat?
Let's look. I guess.
Or was that the Spy? Where's Peter in the Spy?
Yeah, we'll check the Spy.
I'm 21st.
21st, yep.
Always type your name.
Is this the 100K one? No, it's the 20K one.
Dude, you played Mo Alley Cox. Nice. What a smash that was.
So here's the thing.
Oh. Talk about your lineup, Pete. We'll bring it up.
Yeah, sorry, Leone, what are you reacting to there?
It's just seeing Derrick Henry in your lineup.
Yeah. So I had a very, very late swap today, and I swapped off of Jonnu and Jonathan Taylor early to get to Aaron Jones and Mo Alley Cox. And I was ready to just have one of my quintessential Peter overthinks it, galaxy brain tinkers at the last second. I was ready for it. It was happening. Jonnu scores on that first drive, but then Mo Alley Cox comes through, hits the bonus, racks up 111 yards, and then Aaron Jones just goes absolutely nuclear. I mean, you could get away with anything if you had Aaron Jones in your lineup. So I got saved on that one. I really thought I outthought it today, but sometimes the late tinker works. Sometimes.
It's a nice
team. In the juke I'm winning right now, I'm trying to overcome the fact that I played 2 points out of OJ Howard in my flex instead of running back Mike Gesicki on the Allen Diggs stack, and I would have it absolutely locked up. Instead, I'm fading 7 points from Mike Williams. Now there's a Kyler, McLaurin, Kirk, Hopkins, LT stack that's chasing me. And both these teams chasing me have CeeDee Lamb, who scored like 10 DraftKings points after a recovered onside kick. So I'm definitely tilting that a little bit. Then I have an Arizona-Washington onslaught with Will Fuller. It would be an out if Will Fuller, had a pulse. So I don't know. Our teams are going in opposite directions. I'm sweating things happening to pass me, and you guys need things to happen to keep ascending.
Sounds like it's going to make for great drama. One of us will be very upset and the other will be very happy. No, honestly, this is the best perform. I have documented my experiences in the SPY now for one and this season. And this is my best showing ever as of right now. So what happened?
I'm like encouraging you, you're getting me hyped up that this
every time
we're gonna keep your lineup up, Pete. We're gonna just keep it up this whole time.
Yeah, so the one thing that's been what I was worried about in this game was the Cardinals getting to an early lead, taking the air out of the ball, running it a bunch, and that has just not happened. I mean, we see Cliff Kingsbury go for it on 4th and inches from his own 27. We see them continuing to pass, Kyler scrambling a lot, and I love that they haven't forced the running. Like, where has Washington been stout? It's been in the middle, and so they said, all right, we'll just let Kyler air it out or scramble. I love that Cliff Kingsbury has already been flexible with this offense, and I think it's going to be a fun team to watch this year.
Sammy Watkins is going to the locker room.
Tyreek Hill, 54 and a touch.
Oh,
did he finally get in the box?
Probably doesn't change much.
Oh, Hill's not going to change a lot, but it does speed up the game a little bit. Wow, he rolls into the end zone. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the McLaurin drive to get Washington on the board was huge to save that game from kind of going the way you were saying, Peter. Like, even though Arizona was being aggressive, McLaurin on a drive gets over 100 yards and scores a touchdown. So massive points for him, and it keeps Arizona going a little bit. So that was huge for you. For me, I'm hoping just everything ends. Just everybody start running the clock out.
No. We're right there, man. 202, 34th in the Wildcat. 228 is up top, so that's out of reach.
I was talking with my buddy Mike. I was messaging him about how nice it is to see the alpha receivers that don't get scripted out of games. I remember the old days with Dez Bryant, where he'd either go nuclear or just disappear for an entire game. And you're like, he's the best player on the field, and the Cowboys just won't throw to him. So when they get down and you see them doing screens, manufacturing touches for Terry McLaurin, that's the mark of a nice play. And I messaged Mike last night while Joe was 140 drinks deep, and I said Terry McLaurin is the best play on the slate when you combine upside, ownership, price tag, game environment. So it's nice to see that hit.
We were so close. I mean,
should we go through these teams while we're waiting then?
Went through an Allen Diggs stack that we were like, the skinny stack makes sense because there were these guys like McLaurin who we liked as one-offs, guys like Aaron Jones. We're like, the Diggs Allen skinny stack doesn't force us to take up 4 or 5 spots from a game stack. And that's the team that's doing well for me. We were on a lot of the right guys. It's just our group entries just didn't quite piece it together.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though, Mike. I mean, I'm trying to, if we want to play this from a superstitious angle, do we need, if we all collectively do well individually, that's a weird way to say it, do we want Joe to go to a wedding and get drunk every night? Because Leone and I are sitting here just having very low-key Saturday nights, talking lineup construction. Joe's nowhere to be found. Maybe this is our process.
Pete, do we have to go back and look at week 1 where you were sending the same exact text I was?
What did I say?
I don't know, but pretty sure we didn't cash that week either.
You're right. What did I think I said, yeah, I was drunk the first week. Okay. Joe was drunk the second week.
Your exact words.
Leone is going to be the drunk one next week.
Oh, we need Joe. I mean, if we all win our collective individual again, here we go. The new terminology. If we collectively win our individual contests, Joe has to keep getting drunk.
Well,
we're going to have to
if Pete wins the spy,
entries.
I might have to drive back to Chicago if Pete wins the spy tonight, for sure. I think that's the
earlier plan. On we did the 11 a.m. Line movement pre-kickoff stream, and Dieter called Joe Sleepy Joe, just like casually snuck it in there. And so Sleepy Joe, I think that nickname has to stick.
Yeah, he's a professional, man. I didn't even know what to say. He just got me so bad. I don't think I've been that tired for a show in like 3 years. I'm not kidding. So I feel way better now than I did earlier today. Got a little cat nap in during these games. I was missing all the fun with our boy Derrick Henry. Just the Derrick Henry thing never works out. Like literally.
Terry just misses on another bomb, like a 40-yard pass. Oh, and that was on. He might have not have been able to get 2 feet in, but oof.
Can you imagine?
Chiefs Chargers are tied after a 2-point conversion.
What games do you guys have up? I have Red Zone up, and then the Cardinals Washington game up on the mini.
Got Scott Hansen Red Zone.
I'm just chilling on DK Live. I'll let you guys yell.
Yeah, let us yell. Don't give us. Oh, I watched the stats update and ruined it for.
I'm trying to display something. I told you this last week. I'm trying to tilt and produce at the same time. It's not easy.
I know, and that's why I'm telling you. We have to get another producer on here so Joe can let his hair down. Okay, it's too much for you to hungover try to produce and tilt this show.
Well, now I don't have to stress over your camera anymore, man. It looks great.
Thank you.
It's
yes,
crispy.
please.
We're gonna go full to Pete here, so everyone can see his crispy new background setup. He looks like a professional streamer.
Look at this back. I mean, you guys don't even know how much the hue of this, ambient light looks behind me. Thank you to Jordan. Yeah.
Professional background.
Yeah. Mike Leone's in a Hobby Lobby right now. Man. So So what are you cashing for right now in the juke on the $400 buy-in, Mike?
I'm in first and seventh, so it's $15K to first. And
this is
seventh is $2K.
In what? So this is where I sometimes have to really. Maybe I need to be a little selfless. What do you need to happen to win $15K?
I need Kyler, Hopkins, Kirk McLaurin, Logan Thomas to do nothing. Basically, I'm up 10 points on that. But my team in seventh has all those guys plus Fuller. The problem is Fuller's dead, so I could come in second and third if that team goes off though. And
has Fuller officially been ruled out?
I don't know, but I'm like 17 points behind and covered, and Fuller's not going to get 17 points. I don't think. Dude, does Houston have the ball? They're down 14. What was the line in that game? Oh, it was 6.5 on the super contest. That's probably dead.
And Joe, sorry, give me the rundown on your Wildcat that you're sweating. Are you Terry as well?
I'll bring it up right now. Yeah, so this was my team that I had basically the Dallas stack, but I played Kyler and McLaurin with it, and then Aaron Jones, obviously. This was my non-Derrick Henry team. Just the Michael Gallup thing. I mean, if I got anything more from Michael Gallup, I'd probably be pretty close to the top of this right now. The guy in first has kind of I guess he has the Josh Allen stack. That's probably what did it. And Aaron Jones. Bucks D.
Siler in the chat says that he did see Fuller on the field in the third, so he's around. And it is just dawning on me how hilarious it is that we all hedged off of our collective lineup to build really good individual lineups.
I mean, it's stuff you and I talked about. My lineup that's winning is Allen Diggs stack with Aaron Jones. It's exactly what we talked about.
We had floated that. I mean, from a hashtag process standpoint, I mean, we were dialed in. Like the stuff we were talking about, we had floated because, Leone, you got us on Cam as a naked Cam last week, and then I was trying to spitball of like, is there a version of that this week? And you and I were like, well, it would be Allen to Diggs, and you could even do it with no bring back. I had some lineups. I have a lineup in the slant that's doing pretty well that had Allen Diggs with just Gesicki on the bring back for that skinny. But yeah, we were really dialed in, I thought, this week. The sticking with Henry, what are your guys' thoughts on the Henry? Joe sent us a message that said Henry is a trap. Joe was right. Talk it through, Joe. How did you know it was a trap?
I saw it in a dream, basically. I had to let you guys know at 3 a.m. No, I don't know. I never know what, like, you guys always tell me when Henry's a good play. I guess I don't understand playing these guys that don't catch passes. He's going to catch the ball. How many times he touched the ball today? 30, though, so I get it. He's a freak show. But this is what you're scared of, this 84 for no touchdowns at, what was his price, 8,100?
It kills me because everything you say I agree with, and it's why I faded him in season long over and over, and yet I was just like, oh, he's going to get 35 touches today and he's going to go for 200 yards and everyone's going to laugh at me if I don't play him.
And my thought process was last week he was inefficient, didn't score, and he still scored 20 DraftKings points. So I don't know. I just thought the ceiling was absurd. Darrington Evans was out again. A.J. Brown was out again. So I thought he actually might catch passes in this game, but I sort of lucked into fading him in the juke because I didn't want to play the cheap chalk wide receivers, and I wanted to play Aaron Jones. You just didn't have room for him, and sometimes you get lucky where even if you think a guy's good chalk, because I thought Derrick Henry was good chalk, if you just end up with a different lineup construction, sometimes, like, even if Henry had scored 20 points, probably wouldn't have moved the needle. It would have helped Pete's spy team a lot, but it wouldn't have killed you for not fading it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes you just want to build differently than everyone's building. It just gives you a lot of different outs.
Leone,
but honestly, I just got lucky with that.
What was the 2v2 we were considering on this Herndon Julio Jones if we would have went to the Atlanta tight end? What did we have left if we did that? I can't remember. I guess it didn't really work, and we wanted Julio.
We were screwed. We wanted to go Hurst, Aaron Jones there, but it just didn't fit. So
yeah.
And then I did say the only way to get off to get into Aaron Jones on that team was to not play Henry.
What happened to this?
But I wanted to play Henry, so I did not want to do that. So I'm taking.
I believe the conversation we had at that point was like, are we getting too cute if we do like a Sanders, Aaron Jones, CEH type team and completely fade Jonathan Taylor, Zeke, and Henry? And that's what we also, a little bit of breaking news for you guys. If you're setting lineups or doing showdown tonight, James White is inactive. Surprise, personal reasons. So they only have a few running backs active tonight. Sony Michel.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Go ahead.
His father passed away in a car accident today.
That is awful.
That's why he's inactive.
That is awful. So yeah, if you're playing tonight, definitely plan accordingly. Let's see here. 4th and 5 is what I'm seeing right now in this Cardinals-Washington game. There's a challenge going on. I missed what was going on though.
Too many men on the field.
Houston's got 4th and 1 at the Baltimore 36. There's some tight spots here with huge fantasy implications.
4th and 1. Are they going for it?
I mean, they must. They're down 14. So they got to be.
I don't have the game up.
Red Zone's not showing that game. They just have the KC Chargers game on. Either that or I'm an idiot and I don't actually have Red Zone on. I just have the game. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't have Red Zone on.
Someone in the chat, Siler says that you really have your sweat face on right now, Leone. Is that because you already dipped into the red wine a little bit today?
No, this is
it's in my office. Yeah, go ahead.
Leone's so conflicted because he knows that you and I are rooting for different stuff than him. So he can't tell if he should root against us, for us. He doesn't know how to play this situation right now.
I just would really like to get one in the bag week 2, guys.
Yeah, me too. For the first time in my life, Leone.
I don't care about my team. I just want Pete's team to win.
Okay, makes me look like the dick, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, man. I'm ready to just let him secure the bag.
Here, I'll offer you a buyout of your emotional sweat.
Gibson touchdown.
Wow.
Baltimore's got a 4th and 1 on their own 36, and they're going for it, or at least lining up to go for it.
So this touchdown is probably good for the Zona passing game, right? Because they still probably put the pedal on the gas for this next drive.
Yeah, there's still so much time left. You would think they at least have to give it one more drive, right? Of throwing.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing that could happen. They scored quick.
Tyler's 52 yards away from the passing bonus and 34 yards away from the rushing bonus.
Oh, my God.
We need Arizona -7, so I think you need to want them to run the clock out.
Get out of here. Oh, my God.
Look at all these Gus Edwards touches. I was asking my buddy about this earlier today, but what do you guys think about Lamar in general? I feel like this defense is so good that it is just gonna his ceiling is definitely gonna be capped if they're just gonna be in these type of games, right? No, Pete, you said that. I thought it was Sean, but it was you that said that earlier, right?
And I probably regurgitated it from someone else who said it. You know,
it sounded really official. Like you put a lot of thought into it.
That's what we're all doing, is just parroting each other's takes with various levels of conviction. What's up, Leone?
Was his upside capped last year? I mean, they steamrolled everyone last year. I don't think his upside was capped.
That's true.
I mean, don't you think their defense looks better this year through 2, or no?
Yeah, I guess so.
I will say,
Earl Thomas, you know.
Yeah, I mean, these games hurt because you look at the Ravens and you're hoping for the super condensed target share with Andrews and Marquise Brown. So then when they score with Patrick Ricard and stuff, you feel gross. And then they're running Gus Edwards right now. I think last I checked, J.K. Dobbins didn't have any touches in the first half. I don't know if he's gotten a couple in the second half. So it's just going to be unpredictable.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with Lamar to Marquise Brown to Mark Andrews to Miles Boykin, 4-man stack. Of course, he throws the touchdown to Ricard, so that was a great time.
Oof.
This is my best team too.
I'm playing Mark Andrews every week. I don't care.
He's got 3 points.
I'm playing him every week, Joe.
So this is great. You're gonna get the flop lag on him after he gets 1 reception today.
Exactly.
He's expensive, though.
Yeah, what was his ownership at our 7%? Yeah,
I think he was 7%.
17%.
7.9.
And today was the day of punt tight ends. I mean, Jordan Reed, 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz goes off. Mo Alley Cox goes off. Herndon ended up flopping, right?
Yeah, the chalkiest one flopped. Herndon, that hurt. We had him projected really well
Logan
at ETR.
Thomas,
just
too.
Thought the targets would be there. Yeah, Thomas's chalk isn't doing that well either. The Jordan Reed thing really ticked me off because I read a news blurb that basically said they're trying to only play him 20 snaps. And I was just like, can't play a guy who's going to be owned by people only going to play 20 snaps, even if he's super cheap. You just can't do it. And then he goes 2 touchdowns, which is just massive at 2,600.
Yeah. And I saw an Awesemo tweet about Jordan Reed only played 7 snaps. Was that true?
I think it was 10. I looked it up today. Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, that was actually accurate. The news was accurate. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do? Sometimes you just gotta tip your cap or your wine glass.
It was funny. I was messaging with one of my buddies, Drew Morse, this morning, and he told me he had a ton of Jordan Reed, and I sent him that article and talked him off of Jordan Reed. And then I told him I had Derrick Henry and Jonnu Smith in my lineup. He was kind of like, yeah, I don't really love that correlation there. and so then I pivot off a Jadu there. So we both talked to each other. And so at first I was like, Jadu scored. I was like, damn it, Drew. And then Jordan Reed scored twice. I was like, I guess we're even now.
Oh, Kyler's marching him down the field here, boys.
I did get to Aaron Jones. So.
No.
Hopkins catch, Dan Arnold catch. You're in 17th, Pete.
Oh my god.
I know. I feel bad though because I'm like laddering up like $100 and Leone sweating a $15K finish here.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
I mean, I need to actually do some damage. I need a Kirk TD because Hopkins is 20% owned here, so and Kyler's 30%.
I guess if I want him to do enough that I take second and third in this contest is my thing, because I have one of those stacks in 6, but it's 16 points behind third, so it's kind of like if I can get second and third, I don't drop that much, and then you do great, and I think it helps Holka too. Like that's our ideal scenario. What kills me is if it's a middling, like 10 more points, then I don't come in second and third, and you probably don't move up that much.
So we need a Kirk bomb.
Yeah.
How did we all end up?
If we're gonna get it, let's get a Kirk bomb.
How do we all end up in different spies? I think there's 3 different ones. We're not even in the same one. So how are we gonna even keep track of this win?
Yeah, because
I see Peter's in the right one. Everyone did it right except for you, dude.
Well, why aren't we playing the bigger one? Why aren't we playing the bigger spy? 100K to first.
Oh my god. We told you like 6 times. I said, I'm registering this. Sign up for this.
You said register for the spy, so I did. I registered for the spy. That was 100K up top.
You guys want to register for the small one?
Why would you guys want to play the larger one? I don't understand. Why wouldn't you want to play the one that's?
I registered for the first one that was available. It then filled, and they opened up another one that was bigger. I don't understand DraftKings things. I got in the first one. I got in on the ground floor. Joe.
For the record, I'm at 203 though, Pete. So if I'd be ahead of you if I was in the other ones, you should be thanking me.
You're ahead of me right now?
Yeah, my score is 203.96. Yeah, this is the one I have in the other spy and the Wildcat.
I'm gonna score you for our seasonal standings as if you were in our spy.
Okay, perfect. So I'm at 203.96. I'd be in.
You would be in
7th.
You'd be in 6th. Oh no, 7th. You're right. 7th. I can't read. So for 1K, I'd be 1K. Fantastic, guys.
What is 7th? Yeah.
1K over here.
Oh, $1,000.
Okay.
Daniel in the chat says, "Is this the FF comedy hour?" There's nothing funny about me doing well in the spy, Daniel. Nothing funny at all. This is another day at the office.
Is Arizona kneeling on it?
No.
35 seconds left.
There's 35 seconds left. Is my stream?
That can't be right. It can't be right.
Oh, DraftKings tricked me. Come on, DraftKings. The DraftKings live scoring says there's 35 seconds left in the 4th, but there's
there's like 6 minutes, right?
I see 3:57 on my bootleg app. Yeah.
He just ran for a first down to Drake, so it's going to be ticking down. But
whoa,
I mean, Washington's going to get the ball back regardless of what happens with time to do some damage to McLaurin and Logan Thomas. Tackle him.
My DK live is going crazy. I don't even know what's happening.
I feel like Chris Berman. Tick, 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 tick.
So what is second? What's your biggest fade right behind you right now?
I'm fading 7 from Mike Williams was the second biggest fade. The biggest fade is I'm fading 6 points basically from the main guys in this Arizona-Washington game.
Okay, you have a real sweat.
Second place goes from 15K to 8K. But I'm in 6th with all the Washington guys, 16 points behind third. That's what I'm saying. Like if the game's I've got a Will Fuller 0 in 6th place right now.
If you offer me 10% equity of that lineup, I will start anti-sweating these Cardinals and Washington players. Shark Tank style.
This is what I'm saying. We need 16 points from the game.
Here's a stat from Mike Clay. Will Fuller has played 2/3 of the Texans snaps. He hasn't been targeted. Good God. Please no one clip up me on multiple shows this week saying Will Fuller is a wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 clothing. I did not say that. That's not true.
We do a flag planting section on ETR, Dink and I, for our GPP show. And I had Will Fuller as one of them and Aaron Jones as one of them. So you literally could not have two further separated outcomes than that.
Man Monkey says, Pete, you would still only be winning 500 even if you were in the big spy. Thanks for always cutting me down during my moment of triumph, Man Monkey.
Looking good on the Mike Williams fade. It just doesn't, as long as KC doesn't score quickly. I mean, that we can all cheer for.
Yeah, I didn't end up with any of them.
I bet KC was popular in the Super Con. Isn't there a way we can see the Super Contest picks?
I don't know. Let me see.
Our collective understanding of the Super Contest ins and outs has, for lack of a better word, it's left a little to be desired. The thing is it's only week 2. We're still trying to figure out where, you place your picks, how you do it, where you check on them, when the lines are posted. It's really a work in progress. But I do think we're going to be, if the Saints cover, I think we're going to be top 10.
It's not updated live on their website.
Got to text Corbs, ask Corbs. He sent it to us last week, I think.
Joe, I don't know. Are you able to do this? I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you pull up the Corbs hit?
Mm-hmm.
So while Joe pulls this up, I'll give you guys the backstory. I think we might have mentioned it last week. So we had to get a proxy to place our bets in Vegas each week for this Super Contest. And Joe has this old buddy that he played hockey with, and his name is quote unquote Corbs. That's what we call him. And, Leone and I are like, yeah, that's fine. Anyone. And Joe says, well, this guy's actually, he's part of hockey, viral lore. And he sends us this hit that he had. Joe, was this from
2005, 2006? We were like 14 years old, maybe?
He was 14 years old when he did this hit you're about to see?
Pretty sure. I'm going to see if I can key it up here. It was on my phone.
So Siler says in the chat for the Super Contest, you need to be top 1. That is true. It is a winner-take-all contest, but all I want to do is be in striking distance. Nothing would be worse than being in first place right now and just knowing everyone's coming for you. I want to just be inching up each week a little bit.
All right, you guys ready for this video?
Yeah, let's see this thing of Corbs, our proxy, my proxy, just absolutely wrecking someone through the glass.
Las Vegas Outlaws. That's our proxy. Yeah, that was like a viral YouTube video for like years. People used to send this to me. I was like, I know exactly who that kid is.
Yeah, I said it to one of my buddies who's a diehard hockey fan. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have downloaded that video before on Kazaa back in the day." Here we go. Or you've already seen it. I'm now seeing it on delay on the YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, just so vicious. The part where he like falls over after too is like, ooh. So here's a question for you guys. Justin Herbert, surprise start. They said Tyrod had a chest thing. Are you guys buying that, or was this a way to just Trojan horse, like ushering in the new era?
I think I'm buying it because it feels weird that they would have just saved that all week long. I don't know. I'm buying it, but there's no turning back now. It's Herbert all the way.
It is weird.
He looked good.
He did look good.
I feel like if your rookie quarterback is at least semi-competent, you have to play your rookie quarterback.
Mike, are you holding right now?
I'm afraid to check. I don't know if I want to watch the live scoring or if I want to watch the red zone. I'm currently holding, but I need to see what happens. Is Arizona going to run the clock out or no?
It's 4th and 2 that I'm seeing. 30 seconds left. It
Field
just
goal
took
attempt is
another
good.
timeout.
Field goal attempt is good.
Oh, I needed them to run the clock out because now I'm fading the McLaurin Logan Thomas, but it's like 5 points, so I think I'm okay. Famous last words.
Chase Edmonds fumble.
Seriously?
Recovered by Arizona though.
Oh, okay. I think you're behind because they already kicked a field goal. Yeah.
This could be behind. Or DK
What kind of
live.
bizarre world is this?
DK live.
The old field goal, Chase Edmonds fumble combination.
Happens all the time, my friend.
Yeah, I'm in first, 6th, 13th, so it would feel good to actually take first in this.
Dude, that is a nice showing. How big is that contest?
It is 14 people. No, I'm just kidding. It's 208 people.
That's nice.
It's a good size.
So let's talk a little bit. Collectively, we have flopped. We have a little wind in our sails individually. Our bankroll is down. We started with 15,000. Mike, what did you say we're down to now?
I think we're down to a little under 12K. We've lost about 1/5 of our bankroll.
Does that include the super contest entry as well?
No, that's
separate. That's an additional.
That's separate.
Gotcha. Get out of here.
That's perfect. Additional.
So we're not down. We're not down 20%. It's great.
That said, so this week we changed it up. We had, for all intents and purposes, the same buy-in. We just split it over 2 lineups. I did like making a second lineup. I would be open to like the contest that Mike played this week, the Juke, a 3 max 400. Sounds like it might be nice for us if we want to make multiple lineups. Joe, where are you at as a man who single entered the 1500 a lot last year? For our group, do you prefer the single entry or are you interested in 2 max, 3 max?
Well, are we all just going to like hedge our own lineups again and just continue to win individually but just get buried? If that's the case, we should just play the Juke and just forget this whole thing of us playing on our own. That's a great tournament anyway. But
we're all gonna
rolling it back with the 1500 again is probably a little aggressive, but maybe we just throw it in the dome next week and try and make it all back.
Okay. That's if I hold maybe.
Yes.
No, I think there's part of me that's like, if we keep playing the 1500 or do what we did this week, are we really going to lose every single week? Because I know it's 10% of your bankroll each week, which is aggressive, but over a 16-week season, I mean, if you min cash literally twice, you'll make it through the season playing that contest, even though it sounds aggressive. So I sort of think we just, run it back, but no, let's keep it. I think what we ideally want is if there's a 555 or maybe something we could run 2 entries in, would be, if we could be right around 1K in entry fees next week would be perfect. I think
we could also, with that number, we could 3 max like the power sweep for 450 and then get in like a $500 single entry as well. Something like that would work?
Yeah, I think something like that would be good. It's just a matter of, are we going to be coordinated enough to make 4 separate teams?
Well, I don't plan on driving cross country next weekend, so.
Well, let's be honest, Joe. We were more coordinated with you gone.
I mean, that's debatable. In week 1, we heard from Pete once. I'm drunk, do whatever. Exactly.
That was a rough night. Yeah, I was. That was an anomaly.
Don't question my commitment.
Just scrambled down on 3rd and 20 with about 40 seconds left.
What are you fading now?
Swear to God, if Casey
these other games are over.
Did Arizona end?
Yep.
Yeah, Arizona's done. You're in the clear there.
So all I'm fading is 7 Mike Williams points. Basically, just fading AC scoring a touchdown and.
Will you send me the link so I can get rid of our lineups and we can look at yours?
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Let's talk about the Ian Harditz helicopter mush tweet from late last night. Just dropping down to say Will Fuller 100 plus and 2 TDs. Thank you, Ian Harditz. We love you and we appreciate you.
I was with you, man. So we went down together on that one.
Siler says I'm drunk. No. If you want to see drunk, I'll show you drunk.
First, 6th, and
drunk.
13th.
That is Mike Leone. Just imagine
Nice
if we had.
flex.
It's kind of weird too because it's 3 pretty different teams. But it's all Aaron Jones, JT though.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I
put 150 entries in the FanDuel Million stacking Rams Eagles game, and God, if Wentz was like remotely capable, that game really could have gone off. Higbee had the 3 touchdowns. He was really low owned. So I had some fun teams because of that, but it just all fell short because Wentz couldn't get it done. And then, the Rams sat on it a little bit late.
Man, my game selection this week was horrendous. I've got a better score than both you guys, and I'm sitting in 28th of the tournament I have it in.
I will say it is, it's a little bit boring having it capped at 15K when you sometimes see these grand prizes of 100K, 200K, 50K. But it is nice to not, and we talked about this a little bit last week, not have to be perfect and be able to win. I mean, the team that's winning right now, if it holds, has a 2 from OJ Howard at tight end when there was a tight end who scored 3 touchdowns, and Mo Alley Cox went for the bonus at min. So it's nice to not have to be perfect. Obviously, you're not going to win as much if you take down a first place prize, but you're much more likely to actually do it because you don't have to be perfect.
It's a pretty nice tournament too. 2x your entry, pretty flat, 3 max.
What did you say? I had like 20% of your action in this one. I don't remember if it was 20. If it was 20 or 30%.
Let's, don't worry about it, people. We're gonna win our collective,
dude.
By week 6, we're gonna come with 1 min cash. By week 6, I think.
I'm ready to TTP, man. I felt like we were dialed in this week.
We really were. And Joe also said, in addition to saying Derrick Henry is a trap, he said Dallas was a trap, which Dallas scored 40 freaking points. So I don't know if we can say they were a trap, but it would have oddly worked out better if we didn't play Dallas, just because Gallup and Julio were god awful, and Dallas had 3 rushing touchdowns. So the Zeke fade, it got there, but Zeke could have easily had a mid-30s game. And Dalton Schultz had one of the receiving touchdowns. So, I mean, what did the Dallas stack ended up weird? You needed to go basically Dak, Schultz, CeeDee Lamb, Ridley. That would have been the game stack there. And we weren't on that.
How many teams do you think had that across all DK lineups, that specific stack?
Dink had a 3-man with Schultz, Lamb, and I think maybe Cooper, which ended up fine with Dak and MME somewhere. Came back with Ridley. So
that's nice.
He was close.
Leone,
dude, Diggs though? We talked about this too. Last week, the mid-tier receivers killed us, right? But we kind of said that's where we should go back to this week. DJ Moore, 2% owned, puts up 23. Stephon Diggs, 2% owned, puts up 32.
McLaurin.
McLaurin was a little bit more owned, but he puts up 28 or something. He puts up 28.5 at 13% owned. So that really was the way to build, and that would have got you off the expensive tax because you wouldn't have just been able to afford them.
What's the deal with Clyde Edwards-Helaire today?
That first game was a little bit of a trap game because he didn't. 31 rush yards is run bad. You don't expect KC. Okay, they're going to. Oh my God, they're going to overtime. Oh no. My God. I'm fading Mike Williams in overtime now.
God.
Do you remember what you said to me when I said that Derrick Henry was a trap, Leone? You remember your exact words?
Joe does.
I'm sure you're going to remind me. So
I'm going to have to censor it a little bit. Guys, Henry is going to smash what is wrong with you. It's going to be a bloodbath. He scored 20 He scored 20 DK points in a floor game where he was terrible.
You can't win them all, okay? Can't win them all, Joe.
I do just want to say, I didn't play Derrick Henry once last year. Did not play him once. This is literally the first time I've ever played him. I swear in a higher buy-in, and I knew I was gonna mush him. I knew it. Just so gross. And if someone would have showed you the score to that game ahead of time and said the smart play is to fade Derrick Henry, you would have said there's no way. There's no way with that many points.
Yeah, it was. Jacksonville's kind of fun though. We're gonna get one of these weeks when pricing's tighter. I mean, Chenault, another game with 30+ yards receiving, 30+ yards rushing. I don't know if the target volume's quite going to get there, but he had another, encouraging day, another double-digit performance.
Yeah, I mean, D.D. Westbrook inactive again. Keelan Cole has been getting decent run there as well, but you just got to hope that the coaching staff sees what Chenault does with these touches. I mean, he already looks like their best running back. I mean, James Robinson looks good too, but I mean, Chenault is just so explosive with the ball. If they can get his touches up into the 12 to 15 range, I mean, it could be a monster explosion down the stretch.
Guys, we didn't even talk about all the injuries today. Saquon, ACL, it looked like at least. I don't know if that's official yet. There was a bunch of injuries
it's
today.
Official.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Maybe not. I mean, it's official. I think they're going to get a second opinion, but it's torn ACL. Mostert had an MCL. And what happened? Christian McCaffrey had an ankle thing. I think his might not be too bad. But...
I know. I saw he wasn't talking to the media after the game today. I don't know how much you can read into that, but yeah, I mean, today was an absolute bloodbath, just all across the league. Perriman, Drew Lock left the game. Even Sutton ended up leaving the game after being back after the shoulder stuff. He had cramping. I mean, there's a bunch of others that I'm forgetting right now too, but. Are we just chalking this up to kind of the shortened preseason, or is this just a regular outlier?
I think it's just the way it is. I mean, that's just football. It's just a cruel, cruel game.
Yeah, it's not like they've all been like soft tissue or anything like that, but even that, it's just, there's weeks like this, unfortunately. I feel like there's at least one week where it just seems like you have 2 or 3 guys that were like cornerstone pieces for you, and it's just over in the first quarter because they're hurt.
Yeah.
The Chargers got the ball.
The thing that's so scary about sweating Mike Williams is he is one play, right? Like you're not gonna get death by 1,000 cuts from Mike Williams. It's one play or bust.
Yeah, you're gonna he had a long target early in the game where he was kind of open for a touchdown, was underthrown a little bit and broken up. But
yeah, he's scary.
Boys, 3-1 in the Super Contest. Let's go Saints tomorrow night. Yep. 4-1, like you said. I think that would put us top 10. I would imagine.
Yeah, although as the chat likes to remind us, winner take all contest, we need to be top 1.
That would give us 7.5 points out of a possible 10. So I think if you sustain that rate for the whole season, you'd.
Yeah. Someone earlier had asked us any showdown thoughts for tonight. Obviously, with James White out, that shifts the math a little bit. Any takes from you, fellas?
Mike Williams, 6 yards catch.
I mean, I guess.
What?
6-yard catch.
Mike Williams had it.
Right after I said there's no death by 1,000 cuts, Mike Williams, he gets a 6-yard catch.
I always think getting the kind of scrub guys who are going to play that people don't want to play is an edge because sometimes those guys really matter. So Travis Homer, Freddie Swain for Seattle. If I was MME, I'd mess around with those guys. If you're single entering, probably AJ Taylor, people might stay away from him just because they don't recognize the name, and they might go to Michelle and Burkhead with White inactive when AJ Taylor's role looked decent last week. I think he caught some passes. I think he's probably more likely to take the James White role than any of the other guys.
Other thing that's kind of interesting to me, last week we saw the Patriots kind of be able to control things on the ground. Now I think they might find themselves in a more negative game script. And, N'Keal Harry is a guy that I think has the ceiling out of those wide receivers there. So there's a chance you could kind of be ahead of things if they're having to play from catch-up mode, and N'Keal just has that profile where he could go off for 100 yards and a couple touchdowns in the right environment. So he's someone I'm interested in.
The target shares were super condensed for New England week 1. I mean, it was 30% Harry, 36% Edelman. I think I'm with you. I think Harry is probably going to go under the radar more than he should.
Yeah, I was looking at ETR's projections for this showdown game, and I couldn't believe I filtered to wide receivers and tight ends to look at pass catchers, and obviously Edelman and Harry. And then you're like, who's after that for highest projected pass catcher? Ryan Izzo with 5.8 projected points. I just can't believe that they're that barren that Ryan Izzo is their third highest projected pass catcher.
And two, I don't usually get too surprised, doing the projections coming through the depth charts. I don't usually get too surprised, but Izzo is a guy that I don't know if I had projected for any points last week, and he was clearly the top targeted and top playing tight end.
Yeah, everyone was kind of thought Damiere Byrd would be that third guy, and then he whiffed in week 1. So the Chargers didn't go for it there, which seems pretty cowardly to me.
Leone, how many captains do you usually run? Does it depend on the slate?
Oh, I'm looking at what I had initially. I have to rerun my stuff because I do a full 150 MME set. I have to rerun on the James White inactive. It really varies by slate, but I usually, the captain that I liked a lot when I first ran stuff though was Tyler Lockett, who, I think Metcalf had the touchdown last week, but Tyler Lockett's combination of catch rate and yards per catch is something I don't know if I've seen in any other player, with Russell Wilson being so efficient. So I like him a lot at captain. I think he's going to be a guy that you would want to be over leveraged on the field. And sometimes the QBs end up too owned at captain because if they go off, there's usually one receiver that scores right with them for cheaper. Russ can be the exception because he spreads out the ball so much and he gets there on efficiency and not racking up receptions. But even with that said, I think Lockett's a really good captain play.
I'm glad we didn't touch this one in the super contest early in the week. I thought I might like the Chiefs, and I'm glad that we didn't end up settling on that.
Not ideal. I can't remember the first couple ones from the week. I think we were on Baltimore at the beginning, weren't we? But then we decided everyone was going to have them. Was that what you guys decided while I was gone?
The thing that always messes with my mind with the just betting against the spread are these divisional matchups, because you can see them go either way. Like you can see the Jags and Titans just have a shootout where both teams have a chance to win, or in this game too, where the Chargers and Chiefs are just going to play each other tough. And then sometimes they'll just boat race each other. I just feel like there's way more volatility with divisional matchups.
I think you're right,
Maybe
man.
Maybe that's not backed by evidence. That's just how I feel.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think they just play each other a lot, so we get a lot of weird things happen because they play each other more often, and we're like, oh, look, weird things happening.
Yeah, no, that could definitely be the case. There is a bigger sample size for games, which means there's going to be more outcomes. But I would be more confident in the Ravens just crushing a so-so middling non-division team like the Texans than I would be surprised if, they had a really close game with the Steelers, the Browns.
If they came out and did poorly versus the Browns week 1 because they're divisional opponents.
Exactly. Let me have my theory.
Okay, you have your theory.
I need to try to register.
People have lots of divisional theories. What about the second division game theory? A lot of people have the
That's how it's lower scoring. Isn't that backed up by math? Hasn't that been proven? Or do I guess agree?
I guess I just I think you're right. I think I saw that somewhere, but I guess with a lot of these things, I feel like at this point, doesn't Vegas kind of know this, and we can sort of just, if it was such a big edge, and people would just make a ton of money betting it consistently, and then Vegas would adjust to it. I guess is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that
the totals would just be lower for the second game if they were more likely to be lower scoring. And then we'd be like, oh, the total's lower in this game, so we'll adjust our expectations.
So if we're being honest with...
All right, that's a boring...
I mean, with these lines, if we're being honest with ourselves, to Mike's point that everything is going to ultimately be baked into the line already, is the sad truth that we're just always flipping coins? Where is the edge in betting the spread in a contest like this?
Oh, I think there's two edges. One is, and we did this with a couple of teams. Like 4 of the 5 teams we played this week, we got more points than the closing line. So we picked up closing line value because the super contest spreads have to lock at, I think, by the Thursday night game so that everyone's playing on an even playing field when they get their picks in. Everyone's playing the same spread. So closing line value, I think, is an edge. And 2, I think there's some game theory in the contest where, since these are close to coin flips, if we know the contestants are going to be really heavy on one pick, we might pick a different game. Maybe not directly against that game, but we might pick a different game. And that was sort of what we did with Baltimore Houston, which didn't work this week. But I think there are 2 ways to gamify, the contest. And obviously we're still going to have takes, and hopefully we see angles that we don't think Vegas is taking or they're wrong. But overall, I don't think there's a long-term trend where you can just say, bet the dogs in divisional games because the games are going to be close. Right. Like that type of thing I don't think exists long-term.
Yeah. No, I agree with that in the macro trend thing. And I think some of that stuff ends up actually being probably more misleading for people in a week-to-week basis because they assign stuff to bigger macro trends that might actually be a little bit more noisy. But man, it is, betting against the spread is fun because you think you have a hunch, but you're actually just betting into a coin flip. But
also when it's coin flips, I mean, you can get 6 in a row. You can get 6 coin flips in a row right and feel pretty good about yourself.
Yeah. All right, Leone, how are we looking here? What do you need? Does a field goal or ends this? Yeah.
A field goal ends it. I'm looking pretty good.
Let's see who's closest behind you. Is it just that Mike Williams
catch?
It's
just
three points back
now.
Oh, he's 5 points
I actually have a team in 12th place that has Edwards-Helaire, but I don't think it has enough juice to get there anyways.
No. Just so people know, what was the team that we did have in the 777 that was remotely live? Like, where are we finishing right now in relation?
We're in 74th. It pays 41 positions. Just tanked the late games. I mean, Fuller 0, Andrews 4, and we wanted to play that, so I can't tilt that too much. But obviously, you combined 4 points from Fuller, Andrews. They were low owned, got what we wanted, and then Edwards-Helaire has 12 points, and Aaron Jones, who we could have played there, had 48. So
we were when you sent that message, before we had even started the show, we weren't that dead. If we got an explosion from Andrews and Fuller, we're live.
Yes, Fuller was 6%. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So he would have moved us for sure.
We were only 16 points short of cashing, guys, and we got 4 points from Andrews and Fuller. And 12 from Helaire. Yeah. So
none of those cheap defenses worked out.
We should have cashed this week. We played enough good plays that we should have cashed, but it just combinations we ended up on the 2 teams, it kind of broke exactly the wrong way, and we have 2 teams that are both going to finish basically 50th percentile in the tournament.
Yeah. Oh well, it happens.
Chargers time.
It happens. It looks like you should be good here with a field goal to end it.
Bonus for Tyree.
But they're not in field goal range yet, are they?
They're on the 44.
Okay, I might be behind. So we need to get the field goal. Field goal would end it. Yeah. If the Chargers get the ball back, I would be fading 5 points from Mike Williams. Like a 40-yard catch because he's nowhere near the bonus, or 2 catches for 30 yards.
So you win this thing, it's what, like a 4 or 5x, something like that? For your week?
Yeah, probably like a 6x for the week.
Man, what was I doing
Maybe
playing
6x.
that one in the giant Wildcat? I can't even look.
What'd you finish it?
I just get tilted. 36, but 203.94 points.
I have 202.88 in this.
Yep. So I'm gonna win 7K. You're gonna win 15. It's not a fair game.
You guys could have been battling it out in this contest.
I'm also sweating dropping to 8K, which is like the same as you, and you could have, in theory, won what, 100K?
Yeah.
First place there.
Yeah, but I wasn't even in striking distance really. Let me see if I can.
Honestly, even when here comes the field goal attempt, don't tell me what happens. I'm watching it. Anytime you get even to 1,000+ people, you have to be really close to perfect.
Oh yeah, there's 5K in this thing now. I just threw it in. I don't even remember entering a Wildcat this weekend. Literally, I never played this tournament. I haven't played this tournament in like 2 years.
What was your game selection standpoint after traveling?
I was basically just trying to make sure I entered contests and entered the right spy, which I definitely did not do that on the correct way, I guess. But I figured that I was only going to have time to make like one team per site today. So I've been playing like anywhere from like 5 to 8 recently, but there's no time for that today. $300 bonus for Mahomes.
Wow, I can't believe he got there after that slow start.
Mm-hmm.
What was the? I haven't pulled it up. What was the touch split between Joshua Kelly and Eckler today?
I did see more Josh Kelly goal line action. I saw him in a 2-minute drill too, which was surprising. And I have more Kelly than Eckler in season long, so I was kind of happy to see those things.
Eckler,
yeah, me too.
16
okay.
On the ground, 4 receptions.
Wow, and Josh Kelly, 23 carries for 64 yards and 2 catches for 49. I mean, it looks like they are going to use Eckler and Kelly exactly like they used Eckler and Melvin Gordon last year, which is going to make Joshua Kelly a league winner at his draft cost, if that's true.
There's definitely some good zero RB stuff going on early with, Jerick McKinnon looks great too. And, Mostert unfortunately has the MCL injury, but that's an opportunity for McKinnon.
Speaking of that, yeah, I mean, what people are going to spend their fab on Dion Lewis this week. I mean, Dion Lewis couldn't get anything going last year when he came in, when Derrick Henry was out. Is there any enthusiasm for Dion Lewis, or is this going to be like the Wayne Gallman era too, where he comes in and just doesn't do much?
I think he's better.
I mean, Gallman had a smash game. Like I feel like if you're saying to an extent running backs don't matter, obviously Aaron Jones living proof that RBs do matter. And you gotta pursue him somewhat aggressively on fab, right?
I agree, but I think I also do think like a rookie like Joshua Kelly or just a spark freak like Jerick McKinnon is always going to have more upside than a vet like Dion Lewis or Wayne Gallman. Or, if Christian McCaffrey goes down, I mean, yeah, Mike Davis is going to have a role, but is he going to be able to churn out anything more than like a Carlos Hyde level stat line?
It could be pretty boring. I don't know. We'll see how much they throw to him, right? I didn't see the stats from this game, but the team that's probably going to be trailing a decent bit. And if he can just rack up in PPR leagues some back down catches, and then he gets some goal line work, he could get there without being efficient. But I agree with you. I mean, obviously, if I had to pick between Dion Lewis and Jerick McKinnon, give me McKinnon, who, I can't believe how long it had been since he played a game. When they showed that week 1, it was like 900 days or something. It feels like years we've been hoping for Jerick McKinnon.
It's true.
Chargers timeout. This thing is literally going to go down to the wire.
Leone, you gonna have enough time to run? I'm trying to do some showdown lineups now. It's gonna be a little close for you here.
It's running in the background, boys. We're multitasking.
There we go.
I'm like almost ashamed to say it, but I was a Drew Sample touchdown away from winning a lot of money Thursday night. Oh
really?
My God, this is a 58 attempt. Yeah, and he almost got it. I'm gonna pretend Joe was due to Drew Sample and not him missing this kick. Made it. We did it, boys.
Nice work.
Did they? Sorry, I couldn't tell from Twitter did they ice him once?
Yeah, there was a Chargers timeout.
Okay, dude, Leone, congratulations, buddy.
Nice
week 2, shipping a nice tournament there.
Nice week. Nice game selection, Joe.
Fellas.
All right,
Can't
guys.
Wait to the Thunderdome next week now.
So, where we stand with the tilt space, it looks like we're headed to a 4-1 week if the Saints can take care of business in the winner-take-all super contest. We had some nice individual performances here. Leone shipping a tournament, Joe in the Wildcat mix. I had my best ever finish in the Spy. I will recap that tomorrow morning on my YouTube and Periscope if you guys want to check that out. The tilt space is in a good place despite our overall bankroll taking a hit 2 weeks in. I feel like we're going to trust the process. We're going to get Joe back on the straight and sober narrow on Saturday nights to help us build. Joe, Mike, any final words here?
Next week's the collective group contest week. We were right on it this week. Next week's the week.
Next week, Leone's going to be the one that ruins it, though. You're up, buddy. We need you. We need you to go to a wedding somewhere and drive all night. And then we'll just do this again.
So if you guys are just tuning in, subscribe to Line Movement on YouTube. The button's right there below. Lots of good shows coming out. They got the stuff during the week with some of the bets you can make. Lots of good stuff there. We will be back Sunday mornings at 11 for a pre-kickoff show with Sleepy Joe, Dieter, and I. And then, of course, every Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, the Tilt Space. And I tell you, we are headed for a big score here one of these days. For Joe, for Mike, I'm Pete. This has been the Tilt Space.